Oh,
Hey friends, welcome to this week's episode of Dead Funny University. I am your host and fellow student Kelsey, and joining me for our 27th episode in our Zelda semester is Chris. I was going to do something big with it, and then I gave up halfway through.
great enthusiasm for your show, Kelsey. Love it. Fantastic.
No, I was like, he doesn't want some big it's Chris. He doesn't want that. He wants something spooky, and then I didn't know how to save it, so I just made something nonsensical.
Wow.
So, sorry about that. On the plus side, how are you after that introduction?
I gotta say something spooky. Obviously for us it's October, but I'm pretty sure this is coming out the second week of November, so it's not even gonna be.
I think maybe towards the end of November.
Oh my god, that's great. That's fucking great.
That's also the reason I didn't want to commit to a ghostess noise. I'm like, that's not gonna make sense at the end of November.
Man, what I would have given to been a fly on the inside of your head to see all these fucking gears going at the same time.
There were too many gears.
Oh, well, I'm here. That's for sure. Don't know how to follow that fucking act. That's wow.
Do you want to sing into the microphone a little bit?
No, I'm good. I'll let you be the only person that embarrasses yourself on this video.
Well, that's just not fun. Probably not.
Anyway. No, it's not. I fuck up shit all the time. Oh, man. Actually, you would be very happy to know that now that we've been playing New World for as long as we have, and we actually have an actual functioning guild, whole bunch of new people that we don't know, obviously, that we've drafted in and are slowly getting to know you. Everybody talks shit about the stamina thing.
Oh, fucking good, because it's the goddamn worst.
So I figured you would be happy about that. Yep.
Thank you, amassed people of the internet I will never meet. Thank you. Give him shit until he changes and says it correctly.
Some of them, like Mike and Tony, but the rest of them, you don't know.
It's so problematic. Just do it right.
Oh, that's what it was. I caught. Okay, how is satin spelled?
Satin?
No. It's actually Sateen. Sateen. But it's actually satin.
Are you sure
those? Yes, we looked this up. There's multiple ways to spell the word, and it's actually Sateen. It's fucking mind-blowing, and that's how they have it spelled in the game, because Tony was like, you could have asked me to spell satin on multiple fucking spelling bees. And that's how I would have spelled it.
If I search satin, I've got satin fabric by the yard, bridal satin, matte satin, costume satin, all of it spelled the way that I said. So
I would have to exactly figure out the links that we were going through to figure out why this was spelled out, but it's a specific way that it can be spelled, and it's Sateen. It's fucking insane. It blew all of our minds. And so we were talking about that, and I was already in that mode because I was thinking about the word as they were talking about it, because it's a fabric I wasn't working on, but I was fishing at the time. And I pulled this salmon. It's a large salmon. And in my mind, I'm thinking about the fact that the letters are fucked up. I don't know why about the sateen satin. Right?
I need to interrupt because you're wrong. Sateen is a fabric made using a satin-style weave structure, but spun with yarn instead of filament. So no, sateen and satin are not the same thing.
Okay, well, then I will take that up with the people who told me that it was.
They are fucking wrong. Please continue.
That being said, so I'm pulling up this fucking salmon, and I read it out loud how it's fucking spelled. And I was like, oh, look, I caught me a large salmon. And they were just like, yeah, the L in that's fucking silent, bro. And I was just like, wait, what? And then it hit me what kind of fucking fish it was. And I was like, oh my fucking God. So then that started the whole stamina thing, because Tony has been around forever and knew about that. So then he brought that up. He's all like, oh yeah, I'm running low on stamina.
Oh God, I hate it. You have to stop saying it, because every now and then I have to say it and I'm like, full stop. All gears need to double check. How is this actually said? Because Chris fucks it up so much. So mad.
Oh, fuck. That's great. Anyways, but enough about New World. We'll talk about another RPG with swords. Zelda, Twilight Princess. Let's see. We left off with the water, well, the outside of the water temple. So we were fighting the bug. We got the light. We gave it back to the alligator snake looking guy. And he was leaving us with a secret little thing about what was going on, which is this huge cinematic, which we're about to watch. And yeah, before we went on to the lake temple.
Lake
That's where
temple,
we're
not
at.
water temple? Lake temple?
Well, they say it's the temple underneath the Hylia Lake, but yes, it is going to be the water temple.
Okay.
It will. But yeah, so let me know when you're ready.
I am ready.
All right, awesome.
Water snake.
With the mouth of an alligator.
Love it. Now, alligator or crocodile, do we know? Do we care?
I don't know. It's got a little bit of a round snout, wouldn't you say?
More importantly, those teeth do not look like either.
No, those teeth are definitely snaky.
Yeah.
But the face, that looks like a cartoon alligator to me, right?
Yeah.
Or crocodile.
I kind of love it.
Jesus.
I'm not reading the text, by the way, so if that's
fine.
important.
It's fine. No,
me-
the cinematic hasn't started yet.
Okay.
Because I've already said all this to you already.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
I just figured this would be a great place to start with him starting with this and then jumping into it.
Love it. I really like him. He's adorable. I want to boop his snoot.
Oh my god.
He's made of light and he's a good guy, right? So I could boop his snoot and he wouldn't eat me. Perfect.
Yes. Jesus. It's just they have the pig chick from Saw and Dead by Daylight, and that's a thing where like people will do like the pointing this way and boop her snoot.
Oh, that's funny. Woo, we're way
Okay.
too close to Link.
Yep, here's the cinematic.
Chaos. Order and life to the world. I mean, we've seen this in other games, right?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
But this
totally
is where
new.
it starts to change for Twilight.
Ah. And then they return to the heavens. Cool. Sacred realm. Fun. And I take it this is our who is this girl that's with us? That's not Zelda.
That's Ilya.
That's Ilya. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
He's content in mind and body. Oh, how nice. Ooh. Is she about to stab Link? Oh, she's about to stab Link. Oh, shit.
You thought.
Did he just slap it out of her hand?
He killed her.
Lovely. He's not going to be happy with that when he wakes up. Oh, nope. Don't like that laugh. That can go away. And here's the thing that we're creating.
Yep.
Does anybody ever cosplay as these other characters? These
Oh,
Link?
yeah.
Okay.
Shadow Link has been cosplayed out the ass for sure. Red contacts and all.
That would be unsettling. Sorry. That was just a lot.
For a character that doesn't talk in a video game, they gotta do something, right?
Yeah. Alright, the fused shadow. We've found at least one of these pieces, if not two at this point, right?
We have found the water temple. I think it's the last temple, so that would be our fourth piece that we're going for.
Okay, so we found three. Okay. Ooh. Alright, so be careful or bad things will happen to you, like your dead girlfriend multiplying and laughing creepily. Link, you're having a day.
Link tends to have those from time to time.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
so
the happy music.
yep, right into the happy music. Yeah, riding Epona, going to Hyrule. So yeah, the takeaway from that is obviously that we've been building something and we don't know what it is. And the only person that does is Minda, who we also know isn't from this dimension.
Yeah.
She's actually from the dark dimension. And what we just got shown right there, I mean, they used Link in Ilia, so that way it was more personal to Link. But that was basically showing like basically everybody was fine, everybody was happy, everybody was having a good time, and then there was a power. And whenever that mad rush for that power started happening, friends turned on friends, lovers turned on lovers, family on family. Everybody reached for that power. Well, unfortunately, by the time that they wanted to go get the power, those who had been able to get there first and trained in this dark power, this actual dark magic, which is the infused, aka the Twilight, were there killing anybody that would try to get close to the Triforce. And then that's why the goddesses created the light spirits, aka the alligator that you want to boot the Snoop.
I
do. To banish the dark power, and without the dark power they had no power, and they started to go mad, and therefore they just banished them as well to the dark world, to the dark realm. And that's how the Twilight became its own dimension, if you will. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to like roll what you just said through my head a few times
No, you're good.
because it was a bit complicated and not totally straightforward and not totally clear. So I don't blame you for that. I'm just gonna have to kind of roll with it.
Yep. No, you're fine. So yeah, and so I mean, literally just the high point. Good guys turn on each other for power, which was the Triforce.
Yep.
Bad guys found a way to get to the Triforce first. When they got there, they found the infused darkness power, which is what we're building right now. They
Yep.
used that to kill anybody that tried to get to the Triforce. Therefore, the goddesses figured that they were going to wipe everybody out. So she sent the light spirits to banish the dark power, which also banished the dark ones as well, aka the Twilight people. And that's the difference between the Twilight Zone being in its own dimension and Hyrule being the land of light in its own dimension.
Okay. So in theory, if this is opening up a can of worms, I'm excited to see people have comments about in the comments.
In the comments,
In theory,
not Chris's Discord.
I mean, come on, guys, I'm not in Chris's Discord. Like, that's not true. I am, but I'm
That's
there
not where we
on
go to read comments.
I am there on occasion, and that is not where I go to read comments. But in theory, if the people, the Twilight people, I think we're calling them Dark Ones. Is that the right way to say it?
The Twilly, remember? You love
Yes,
that name.
I knew they were Twilly once they got there, but I wasn't sure like pre their
Yeah, they just
banishment.
called them the Dark Ones, which
Okay,
were the
yeah.
Shadow Ones that you saw.
Okay, so if the Dark Ones hadn't like blocked off the Triforce, basically, nothing would have happened to them. The goddesses would have found a different answer for how to stop people from like focusing and killing each other and whatnot for the Triforce.
Correct. Yes, because basically what their biggest problem was is that this dark power, they knew that war was going to happen
Yeah.
for the chance to be able to get the Triforce. I mean, that was never going to be or that was never going to not happen. So they knew that was going to happen. But it was a different game when these people had found this dark deep power, or they were able to, I mean, as you saw, I mean, without a second was able to just destroy Link. Done.
Yeah.
And that's what they were worried about, was the complete extinction of everybody from the land of light and all these dark ones roaming the land of light, and then what that would do, tossing the world into chaos. Not to mention if they actually got their hands on the Triforce, what would they wish for? Because we all know that the holding the Triforce, you can wish for literally anything. So yeah, so they had to be stopped.
Okay, it seems a little backhanded, unfair, and like there's like there's different expectations. There's the expectation like we know war is going to happen, so we're not going to try to stop that. But these guys trying to like turn the war in their favor, they're a problem. We need to banish them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's more along the lines of not necessarily the fact that they were turning it in their favor. I think it was more about that they would be the spread of the corruption that would sooner or later destroy the planet due to
Yeah.
the fact that they chose to use the dark arts. It was more the dark arts that needed to be banished. And
Okay.
once the dark arts were banished, those people basically were just going to, from what I read in the book, was more along the lines that they were just going to just basically just slaughter everything, anyone, da 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 da. Some of them were going mad and stuff like that. So it was just easier to, as they called them, the tainted, send them to the twilight as well. So therefore, they would be down there with their power and still be able to do what they want to do. It just wouldn't affect the land of light.
Okay.
They have their whole world down there. Like there's a whole world in the Twilight. It's basically a darker version of the light world. Like it's literally a
Hmm.
mirror image. The only difference is that the people who choose to walk in the light aren't able to walk down there. Same thing, vice versa. That's why we only see Minda as a shadow when we're in the light world, unless we're actually in the Twilight part of the light world. And whenever we're in the Twilight part of the light world, Link is a wolf. He's a divine beast, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still think I still don't draw as like clear a line between the people of the light that wanted to use the Triforce and do whatever they wanted with it and create war and cause all kinds of terrible suffering so they could have power, and the people of the dark that were going to cause all kinds of suffering if they got power. Like I don't see a huge difference between those two, but I trust you that there's supposed to be one and I'm just missing it.
There's going to be more information to come. I think
Oh,
the biggest
okay.
thing to
That
look
helps.
at here, yeah, I mean, because we're
Sorry.
almost halfway through the game at this point, so there's still a lot more information to come. But at the
Okay.
same time, I think the biggest thing to focus on here is more along the lines of like they knew that war could happen. I wouldn't say that they 100% knew that it was going to, because like the Triforce was something that was supposed to be only used by the royal family to continue to keep the sacred realm, which is or the sacred ground, which is what they call uh Hyalea or Hyrule, um, kind of just flourishing. Like the royal family was in charge of safeguarding this. They just knew that
Yeah.
sooner or later, no matter what, good will breed evil. That will happen. But this was an unthinkable, unstoppable evil, except for them intervening. That was the
Okay.
only thing that was going to stop this evil, was the intervening, or them intervening. And the only reason why it broke out was because the evil finally figured out exactly what happened and got it down to where it was at, that they used that exact same power to then go after the light spirits, which we just spent the entire game unleashing. Once the light
Hmm.
spirits are gone, they started to break back over into the real world. So like I said, I think that it's more along the lines of like, well, there's going to be war. I think it's more along the lines of, well, we have good, but good can't live without evil. So sooner or later, something's going to happen.
Hmm.
We just don't know when that's going to be. And, there's this whole, free will leave things up. But whenever there's like a whole different situation that's caused from like an ancient evil that they had nothing to do with, and it's like, okay, well, we need to do something, or everything that's been built is just going to be burnt down.
Okay,
I think it's
so
more the way they were looking at it personally.
another way
They
of
took,
saying it is there's normal, like, human nature levels of evil, and then
yep,
there's supernatural levels of evil, and we get involved when the supernatural levels of evil show up.
correct, right.
Okay. That's a very convenient plot device, but fine. I
Oh,
can
absolutely,
I can roll
absolutely.
with it.
Because they've already shown that, like for instance, people like Ganon,
Yeah.
if they get their hands on the Triforce and make a bad wish, they're not going to intervene. So that's a clear playing field. Like the Triforce is the ultimate power, regardless whether good or evil gets to it. That they let play out. This is something completely alien to the situation now, and it was getting out of hand fast. So they had to do something to get that the fuck out of there. So
They just
yeah,
draw lines and in their shades of gray. We all like the shades of gray exist.
sure.
We all know that. There's black, white, and then there's shades of gray in the middle. And we all like draw a line somewhere where like everything past this is white and everything past this is black, and we that's what we accept. And they just drew their line differently than me, and I'm nitpicking about
There you go.
it.
That's fine. It's all good. Anyways, so that's the main thing to take from that. Like I said, we got a lot more information to come, and then we'll see some some more shit that kind of helped make sense on why the Twilight was made. There's also other like mystical beings that are in place that you haven't even seen yet. There's like a lot of different shit that's still going on.
Okay.
So we'll get there.
Okay. I can accept that.
But returning back to where we were at, we are now heading to Hyrule. And the reason why is in case if you don't remember from last episode, one, go rewatch it because hello, that's another view. And two, it will refresh you. Three, we had, or not three, but going back to it, we had the Zora people were all frozen and the queen was dead. Which, once again, still pretty crazy. Her death that she describes for a Zelda game, like for a Nintendo game that's family friendly, her just getting beheaded in front of all of her people. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lot.
yeah, it's a little bit. But as we remember, her husband, the king, is dead. She was the one that was ruling the Zoras since he was dead. And now that she's gone, the princess who's supposed to rule the Zoras, and he went to go get help. And we remember seeing him as a ghost where he was lying sick on a bed with Ilya and Telma. And we saw them for a quick second. That was it. And then we went on to go do the Zora stuff. Now we're back. So we go walking into the door, and as we're walking in, we get passed up by this lovely chap, which his name is Dr. Borville, with his gigantic glasses. Dr. Borville, and unfortunately, there is nothing he can do for the young Zora boy because he is a doctor of humans. So basically useless. He literally did nothing for us. But yeah, there he is. Great guy.
He's adorable and I like him.
And then right after that, now, not as a wolf, but as an actual person in the light world, we see Ilya again for the first time. But she just looks at us and kind of just shrugs us off and keeps walking. Over past, or she goes and walks down and sits down next to the table, which obviously on the table, we see the young prince, Rallius the Third. And then standing next to that would be our new friend Telma, which we don't know a lot about yet. So, pretty funny. Telma then starts to talk about how there is a great shaman in Kakariko Forest, or in Kakariko. I think it's a wasteland, but she just says village, Kakariko Village. Anyways, we've been there before. It's where the kids are at right now. Kakariko Village, and that you need to go there. That shaman will have more of a chance of saving this young Zora than the doctor will. And then you hear in the background, well, that's not going to happen because it's too dangerous. So we'll have to go with it. And you see like a guard or a whole like soldier unit of like 12 guards who are all like, yeah, we'll escort you, da 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 da, because they even do the whole the fucking talking down aspect of like, don't worry, pretty women, we'll take you over there, that kind of shit. So they're like, yeah, yeah. And she goes, well, from what we hear, both of the lands between here and there are complete wastelands filled with unmentionable beasts, and one of the bridges is out. So we only have one direction to go. And then she turns around and they all left because they're terrified because they suck. Because, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yep, they were all fun and games, and they thought it would be an easy ride, and then they found out it wasn't going to be an easy ride. So yeah, they weren't there anymore. Actually,
so
one of them was.
Poor pathetic women. We're gonna leave you to die because it's not worth it.
Yeah, one was actually left. It was the short, fat one, and then he noticed that they all left, and then he wobbled his way out.
So short, fat, and semi-blind. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, so then that turns her to take her gaze and put it onto our hero, Link.
Hey!
Where she says, we've got one guy here. He looks like a strapping young lad. Maybe he'll be able to help us out. And so she sees that Link is just staring at Ilya. Ilya is crying over Rallius the Third. And then she gets up, looks at Link, and then she walks to another room. Telma walks up and goes, I can see it in your eyes. You know that girl, don't you? And Link just kind of like, slightly nods. And she goes, yeah, she found him on the road and brought him here. They both must have gotten into an unfortunate accident because she has no memory. She can't even remember her name.
Oh,
that's why she gave us such a weird look.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because we should know each other. That being
she doesn't
said,
know that. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't know that. So that being said, we have that whole situation going on. But Telma's basically like, we got to get over to Kakariko Village so that way we can get him treated. Do you know where it's at? Link's, yeah, I kind of just came from there. She's like, great, we need to go there now. So they get all packaged up. It's actually funny because they get into this like little caravan and Ilya is in the back and she's like, I won't forget your kindness. She's all like, tell me, what is your name? And he says Link. And then you see this thing where she kind of somewhat feels like she remembers it. She goes, thank you so much. And then Telma's like, don't thank him yet. We haven't got to Kakariko Village. She goes, but I can see it in his eyes. He's got the wild beast behind him. She's like, I think we'll be fine. She's like, and plus then we can thank him when we get to the village. And then she blows Link a kiss. Telma does. And you know how Link is, he's just like, and then he just kind of like lightly smiles because he doesn't know what to do.
That's cute.
She comes on to Link pretty hard. It's pretty great.
I mean, everybody, you should direct your affections at someone who's consenting to the experience, but damn, like,
yeah,
Telma's a hella great. Like, go for it. Yes.
Yeah, she's going for it, and it's pretty great because I think this is like the first time, and possibly the only time, where we've had somebody come on to Link this strong, but more of like a casual, loose way. You know what I mean? Where it's like
she's not really trying to make it happen.
I'm not in love with you, but like one night with the hero would be pretty great type deal.
Yeah.
To where like, we've had the opposite where it was like the Princess Zora and Ocarina of Time where it's all like, you're going to be my love forever. We'll always be together. Serena the same way. We'll always be together, type deal. To where this is more of like I want to love you, but
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that was pretty funny. And
it's
just
the love you'll never forget and never
like,
find again.
There you go. Exactly. So you end up going and riding. Yeah, I know she's great. But you end up going and riding to a bridge, and she tells you that the other bridge, or no, Link tells her that the west bridge is out, so you only have one route to go. Because obviously he just came from there. And unfortunately for us, our good friend and buddy King Bolden is guarding the one bridge out. And at this point, he actually has two shields, one on each arm, gigantic shields. And he's just going back and forth, up and down this bridge, up and down this bridge.
I know the answer is no, but haven't we killed him like 3 times?
No. Well, I mean, we fought him a couple times, but we haven't killed him yet, no, unfortunately. He takes a couple of ass whoopings in this game.
Okay.
So we go up and down the bridge. It's our time to shine. And basically, it's just more of a riding your horse and using your bow and arrow versus actually trying to hit him with a sword because he's got 2 shields. You're not going to be able to do anything. So trying to shoot him whenever he's kind of busy looking off somewhere and hitting him in the head a couple times. You do that a couple times until it knocks him off. He drops his gate key. You pick up the gate key, unlock the gate, and ride forward. Getting to Kakariko Village, we walk in once again for a nice little refresher. Our main goal is to talk to the shaman, and the shaman is Renato.
Yeah. Good dad, Renato.
Yeah, exactly. So he tends to the boy and says that he's through the worst of it at this point. Rest is all he needs, and he should be back on his feet. As for Ilya, it's going to be a long road, but we should be able to possibly recover her memory back. Which the kids are kind of upset about, obviously, because they grew up with her and she doesn't remember who any of them are either. So, and the kids are there. So there's that.
Okay, so they're not upset with her getting her memory back. They're upset that she doesn't know them right now.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
So then he goes walking off and Link is outside with Telma. Because Colin was out there too, the little blonde kid, and he was all like, I'll stay by his side no matter what. And Renato's like, this is great because we have one hero of courage out there fighting, and then we can have our other hero of courage here making sure the people are safe, trying to get the kid an attaboy.
I love it. That's sweet.
He's a good guy. So he goes walking off. Kid goes back inside, and it's just Tama and Link out there. And Tama starts talking about the fact that she is part of an organization, a small organization that's doing whatever they can to fight back, and that she would love for Link to join their side. He needs to come back to her bar anytime. She'll be there to help out, but there's a secret passage that leads to the castle. Hence where we can go to get into the fucking castle. But
I was hoping
basically, well, she definitely gives him another, blow kiss and a wink at the end of that. But she gives off the feeling, and this is something that you've kind of seen in other games a little bit, that she might be part of the Sheik tribe.
Ah.
Exactly, because usually that's who the secret guard is for the royal family, hence all those secret tunnels and stuff like that. So, with her giving off that little thought, she, like I said, blows another kiss at Link and winks, and actually looks like she runs to go hit on Renato. She definitely stops him as he's walking away, and goes to talk to him. But Link then goes to walk inside, but then really just kind of notices that there's like a presence near him. He turns around and sees the Queen Zora, and it's just her spirit kind of floating, and she starts floating away. So he decides to chase it, follows her through the graveyard where there is an actual tombstone that's got the Zora crest on it. You might not remember the Zora crest. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture in front of me right now, but it was one of the ones that we got from Ocarina of Time, where it was like the 3 little blue balls with the gold kind of holding them in there.
Yes.
Yes, that's the Zora crest. So she goes into the tombstone, it lights up and then just disappears. And there's a hole behind it. So you crawl down through the hole, and back there is a secret tomb for the king, the last king. And he was actually a tailor as well in his life. So he would make armor for the chosen hero, as in the blue tunic, every single, throughout his lifetime. His father did it, and his father did it for that. So they always hid it near the family tomb because no one knew where that was at. So that way, when the hero time would show up, they'd be able to give it to him. So she says, "Thank you so much for rescuing my son and doing what you could for my people. Obviously, my son doesn't know about my fate. Tell him that it is up to him now to rule the family, and that his mother's love for him will never waver. And that's time for him to step up and be king." And then she goes into that tombstone, and it moves back. And with it moving back, shows us a nice little package of Zora clothes, our Zora outfit. What's cool about this one is the way that they designed the helmet to go, because Link always has that, that little back hood of the hat. They designed that to kind of be like a Zora kind of like tail thing. So this is like a lot of people's like favorite like Link outfit. I mean, it's not mine personally. I like the original. So here's a couple pictures of what it looks like with him on it, or with him having it on. The second picture right here is actually taken from Breath of the Wild, which is the newest game, which what looks so detailed.
I was going to say that looks a
they
lot
had
better.
Yeah, they had it actually like in the game as an armor you could put on, because the Zora armor you have in that game looks completely different than that. But they had a whole bunch of different outfits you could fucking wear in that game. And then I found some actual cool artwork, just a couple of them here to give shout outs, of people who have, like I said, made some pretty fucking cool looking artwork with the outfit. This one being my favorite, because they actually had like the black mask over the mouth too. So yeah, a lot of people like this one. A lot of people have cosplayed this one. I see this one a lot whenever I'm like looking up news from like conventions and stuff. A lot of people like to cosplay this one. So, but that is the Zora armor. In the Zora armor, you are weak, or more vulnerable, I guess I should say, to fire and ice, but you can now swim through like a Zora, obviously due to the fins on your feet, and you don't have a water timer either. So you can go down as low as you want to. It makes it to where you can breathe underwater somehow, magically, obviously. Yeah. Which brings us to our next thing. So we go all the way back to the Zora village, because obviously now that we have the suit where we can go underwater, we can go to the temple that's in the lake bed, because we just freed all the water. We break a boulder that's down there with a bomb. And let's go ahead and sit here and talk about how fucking baller the Gorons are. Because there's just a Goron in the boulder, and he's just down there, not suffocating. So apparently they can breathe in water.
I fucking love the Gorons. I want to be a Goron so badly.
They're just fucking beasts. Like, they can just do what the fuck they want, and they don't care. They just don't care.
This one, hang on, we need to check first. This one also has rock nipples. Please continue.
Yes, he has rock nipples. Yep. Yeah, but he fell asleep in a bed of lava, and then he's like, I woke up and it was all frozen in rock form, and I couldn't get out. Thank you for saving me. And then he gives you a bag of bombs. So now you have a bag to hold your bombs. Well, you have an upgraded bag, so you can hold more bombs.
So
So
cool.
yeah, and then he just sits there, just underwater, just chilling, just no
Uh,
fucks given. He doesn't need oxygen. Fuck that stuff.
king
It's
of social
overrated.
isolation. Just like, I've
Yeah,
been by myself for a long time. I guess I'll just stay that way.
dude's a baller. And
It's
then yeah,
awesome.
so that's right there in front of the water temple. A great place to go ahead and stop this episode.
Oh, the Gorons are the best. All right, that's going to do it for our 27th episode in our Zelda semester. We will wrap up Twilight Princess someday, sometime. Who knows? Probably not this calendar year. But if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and for the love of everything, comment, guys. Commenting
Mm-hmm.
on these YouTube videos is the best way to give me any of your feedback. It's also the best way to give Chris any of your feedback. And since this is, in case you didn't notice, my show, it is more valuable to me if you leave your comments here than if you leave them in Chris's Discord. FYI. So please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when to come to class, and we will see you in the next episode of Dead Funny University. Bye, friends.